listening to the Online Super Coach Podcast, the place where business owners create breakthroughs. Here's your host, AJ Mirzon.
Welcome to another episode of the Online Super Coach Show. Today I have the one and only Brandon Carter. He is a former music producer and recording artist, worked as a fitness model for many of America's top fitness companies, including Nike, Puma, Reebok, and Jordan. Currently, Brandon is a fitness superstar who is dominating the industry. He has written 2 best-selling books, and at the time of this interview, his YouTube channel has close to 340,000 subscribers. His Facebook has over 1 million fans, and Brandon also has a supplement company. He currently lives in New York City with the most beautiful woman to ever walk the earth and 2 kids. Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for being on my show.
What's up, man? I think you read my bio off Amazon, the Amazon bio, right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's like the most interesting man in the world.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Cool. So, starting out...
It's not hyperbole. All that was true. All that was true. Like, that sounded good. That sounded good hearing it, you know?
Yeah. Cool, man. So, to start things off, I want to know, Brandon, like, what is your success quote? What is a mantra that fires you up?
The mantra?
Yeah, like, a philosophy that you just live with every single day.
Yeah. You know, I always say to myself, man, or like I say to my team, because like I've assembled a team, and I was in top speed. Like I'm always top speed. Like it's something they just hear me say it all the time, man, because I want a sense of urgency. I feel like a lot of people just like, I'll get around to it, or I'll do it now. I'm gonna do it right now. Like do it immediately. Like I don't know. Like that's what I'm. I pretty much say that probably. I don't know. I'll probably say that to my team all day. They're real sick of it, probably. Back in, is it or if I'm really like, is that the best you can do? Like I say that to myself. Wow. And I say it to them all the time, but I don't mean it in like a good way. It's always like they're like, oh yeah, man, I'll get that to you tomorrow. I'm like, that's the best you can do. If so, maybe I should adjust my expectations. It's really best. That's what I'll get it to you in an hour. And that's what I thought, man. I know how long it takes. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm being. I'm not a jerk, but I just feel like if you're a leader, your job is to push your followers to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like the people on your team. You know what I'm saying? Like I want like Jordan pushed his teammates to be better. That's I kind of like I model myself after that. So
Wow. No, it's a great mantra. I mean, that's always never-ending improvement.
Yeah, right. Yeah, constant improvement. You should always be trying to improve. You're not getting what Pat Riley says. You're not getting better. You're getting worse.
Exactly. So, for those that don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about your journey? Especially going from being a personal trainer to being this online superstar that you are now.
Yeah, we can probably start there. I'll start at the personal training. I've probably been a trainer. I've been working out since I was like 16, and I'm 32 now. My first job as a trainer, I worked during when I was in college. I went to Howard University School of Business and marketing major, and my first job while I was there, I worked at Bally's as just a trainer. And which is cool. It's really like. Anybody's ever worked in a gym, I know a lot of your followers, you're really a salesman, to tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's good training, like sales is so important. But then but during the summer, I wouldn't work at Bally's, I would work for Abbott Laboratory, pharmaceutical company. I was an intern, paid intern. They had an paid internship program where I would work with their sales and marketing people. So that was real cool. I probably learned a lot from them, and that helped me be a better salesman when school year started. During as a trainer, that's something I probably took with me. But there's a lot of stuff that happened in between now and then. That probably is not relevant to this, but eventually I stopped wanting to train people one on one. Right, like because like you can't scale it. Like there's only so many hours. I mean, you can charge more, but I mean, I was charging the most I've charged was probably like 100 to 150 an hour, and that's for like elite like NFL players, right? I got and that's only just because I've been doing it so long and just networking, living in New York, and I was modeling at the same time. So I would just have my own clients, and I was working as a model. Like I was with one of the biggest agencies in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did a lot of advertising. I did a lot of Nike, Puma, Adidas, Brand Jordan, like all Mintel, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and so like that's how I kind of leverage getting like bigger than clients, and yeah, but it still is like there's time for money, and that's you just can't scale it, I decided to go online, right? So I created a YouTube channel, right? And I didn't know it was gonna get as big as it was, but it did, and I got like. Especially watching my older videos, you can tell I'm just messing around, right? Because I'm not really thinking anyone's gonna watch it, But then, they did. People were watching it, and then, then just basically just on social media, doing and all my social media channels are pretty popular. So I did that. You make some money off YouTube. It's not big money, but it's probably, it's more than some people make a year. But it's not. I consider it big money. Like that was my only income. Then I'd probably be in New York. I'd be struggling. Living in New York. So I have info products that you can buy from my site. But I also started a supplement company.
Wow.
Bro. It's called Bro Laboratories. We just released our second product called Rebellion Pre-Workout. It's already ranked like number 16 on Amazon or something like that. Something real good. Got distribution on Amazon, and we're in a chain of stores in New York. It's called NXT Sport Nutrition.
Oh yeah.
That's NXT, right? Because I know you're familiar with Queens.
Yeah, 5 minutes away. I know exactly NXT in Forest Hills. Yeah.
Yeah. The owner is a friend of mine, Zachary.
Oh, Zachary Mubarak. He's one of the world's top IFBB pro coaches. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He actually just started. He's a good guy. Like he actually started at the same time I was coming out with my pre-workout. He was actually launching a whole line of supplements, and he still took time to give me advice on what we should like the ingredients and labeling and stuff. Even though I was coming out with a competitive product, right? But he's not really because he's going to sell in his store. So, but still, he's a good guy. Right?
Yeah, I've met him before. He's a really down to earth, humble, cool guy, and
really good guy. Really good guy. Yeah,
I agree. And Brandon, like I know you're a big student of personal development and constantly bettering yourself. To go from like a personal trainer that's working in a gym, trading hours for dollars, and then even, starting a YouTube channel and jumping on social media and having an impact on larger people, was there a shift that occurs? Was there like a moment of influence and inspiration that kind of led you on this upward path?
Well, like I'm leaving a lot out of my story, like, but I don't know, man. It's like I don't know how transparent I can be on this. I don't know.
You could be 100 transparent. You could curse.
I don't know. I don't know what your audience is like. All right. So there's a time when I stopped training people, and I was still modeling a little bit. That wasn't making a lot of money. But what happened? So I was like selling drugs. Like I could say it's past the statute of limitations, and I was like. Not going into too much detail, man, but I was making way more money doing that, especially when you start in that industry, like the entertainment industry, the client, there's nothing but clients, so like it was real easy for me to do that, and I was making so much money to do that. Plus I have a sales background, but that was easy because that stuff sells itself. But it was but what happened was one of my friends was murdered. Like they found him in this car, chopped up. In Jersey, like by a river or something. Yeah, and he's a good friend. He's a friend of mine. And you got to think about the kind of person who just doesn't kill you, actually chops you up and leave you there. That's just trying to send a message. Like the kind of organization that it wasn't like just a guy, who does that. That was, it was bigger than that. And so that was a wake up call. Then some people around me started dying, like overdosing, and then my father committed suicide. So like it was like all right, and then let me just turn it all around. You know, like that's when I decided to really just turn it all around. So what I did was I jumped back in the, I stopped doing everything illegal, right? And I was like, you know, I just want to be, and plus, you know, it wasn't, you know, honorable. You know, like to me, it was just, you know, I was young. I was like 24, and I guess I didn't know no better, or maybe I just, you know, I come from Southside Chicago, right? So
Yeah.
I that was what I knew. You know, I knew how to do that. Even though I went to college and stuff, I knew that more than I knew anything else. So I was like, all right, let me do it 100% legal because it's too much. Everyone around me is dying, and it's probably only a matter of time for, you know, something like this happens. You know, like you know, you become like the people you're around, right? You're the sum of the 5 close people around you.
Yeah.
Three of those people had just died that year.
Wow.
so I you know, that's just, you know, through the math, the average, if I'm the average of all those people, like maybe I'm next, right? So I was like, all right, let me just turn it all around. And so I got back into personal training, and then I also got a regular job at I was a security guard in the product store in Soho.
Mhm.
So so I was working. I would train people in the morning, then work 9 to 5, then train people in the afternoon. I had my personal clients, right? Because I didn't want to get a job at a gym. Because you know, you can you make more money when you just train people yourself, you know, right? Because you don't have to pay the gym. You can undercut. You can charge the client less and get more and make more money, right?
Yeah.
So I was training people. I have weights at home, so I was training people at home. Sometimes we were just going to the gym, and I had to work out too. So I just like sometimes the training session would really just be them working out with me. That's not most gyms frown upon that, you know, but whatever. If you're really working out with them, what can they say, right? So I would do this. So I was working like 14, 15-hour days because I would train clients before work, then train clients after work. And that's exactly when I started doing YouTube videos.
Mm.
Right, so I started making the YouTube videos, and then so it was a point where, because I was working so much, my income started to raise, but I still had to take care of my family at this point, right? 'Cause my dad left a lot of bills, and my mother was, you know, she needed, you know, financial help at the time, you know, and I had to pay for the funeral myself. So, like, first I had to dig my family out the hole. So I did that, but then once that was happened, it took about a year of just hard work, 15-hour days, 6, 7 days a week, for real, like 6, 7 days a week for like a year. Then I kept doing that after I dug my family out the hole, because I figured if I keep making this kind of money, I can invest it in something lucrative this time. Instead of last time I made a bunch of money, I bought a bunch of cocaine. This time I'm thinking, hey, this time I'll buy something that will help people.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll invest in something to help you. So I started investing in my infrastructure and just, you know, I bought better cameras and stuff like that, you know, just because I was like, you know what, I mean, this online thing I can tell is about to blow up. I can tell I can be one of these guys who really does it, you know. So I bought you know, expensive computer, cameras, all this stuff to start taking the YouTube social media stuff seriously.
Mm.
And I was doing that while working. Then I got to the point where, I was doing that while working, man. And then it got to, then I got some sponsorships with a supplement company that makes a product called T-Rex.
Oh.
I know the owners, the T-Rex, and then I just kept going, man. I just kept going to the point. Then I got to the point where I didn't have to work. And then I saw enough info products in it, and I made some other investments, you know, so some other legal investments and like other things, other businesses on, like I have other businesses online, like outside of selling, you know, because I still have a marketing background, so I was invested in that. And then I got to the point where I didn't have to work. I hope I'm not rambling, man. I hope this is coherent.
No, it's crystal clear. It's a great journey. I mean, the story's very yeah.
So I got to the point where I didn't have to work, and that's when it really blew up. When I didn't have to like work another job. But at one point I stopped working at the product store, and one of my friends owned he started a restaurant, so I was the weekend manager for him. And then my other friend started a moving company in New York, and I was like one of the guys, just, you know, one of the main managers, you know, driving the truck. That's the hardest work in the world. So I'm doing all that. and trying to build my social media. Like, so that's why I hate excuses, man, because you hear, this is years of struggle. After I decided to do everything legally and morally, it was years of struggle, right? And then I got to the point where I didn't have to, so I finally got to the point where I don't have to work anymore. That's when things start blowing up. I start really going, then I started doing a video every day on YouTube.
Wow.
And I post videos on Facebook every day, just putting out enough content. And then that's when things started. That's when I really started. Things started to turn around. Then you got to the point where it just kept snowballing. You know, I kept putting in. I took all that same effort and put it into social media and my other businesses. Then I got to the point where I started my own supplement company. I bought the company that sponsored me years ago, T-Rex, and I brought it under my company, Grow Laboratory. So I bought the product,
Wow.
right, distribute the product. Yeah. So it's a real it's rags to riches, man. You know, yeah, like literally.
That's
I bought the company so because I was taking the product and I actually liked it. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna buy it instead of endorsing it. And then last week we released our pre-workout, and we have four more products from launching 40 years out.
That is incredible. Wow, it's such an inspirational story, and I appreciate you being so transparent and sharing all the details because, most people, they see you and they think you're this overnight celebrity who basically just got on YouTube and all of a sudden, people love you, but they don't know what you went through and all the challenges you had to overcome to be the man you are today.
Oh, man, especially, yeah, man, it's so fucking hard, man. I remember 2 years ago, it was 2-3 years ago that I'm working I was working for the moving company. That is the worst work ever. It's all day long doing full body workouts. Really, moving, and especially in New York, right? 6-story walk-ups. Having to move sofa beds up in there. It was awful.
Wow.
But I was if I just do it if I work hard now, man, I'll be able to really make something happen in the future. And I think that's the key, man, to have a focus on where you want to go, and then you'll be able to endure more if you have a target you're aiming for.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, and I'm curious, you're talking about a target you're aiming for, having goals. Do you employ any daily rituals to just keep your mindset in the right place, like any affirmations or visualizations, anything of that sort?
Yeah, I definitely. I meditate now. Vipassana meditation.
Oh,
I'm
me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty I'm a pretty intense guy, I can get intense and volatile, right? And that's just because of my background, I think, where I'm from. And so to stay calm, maybe in a leadership role, I don't want to be I don't want to be you hear stories of Steve Jobs, screaming on everybody, or even Jeff Bezos. They're people I look up to, but it's I'd like to not, I like to be kinder, gentler a little bit, but it's a struggle, man. That's a struggle just because I'm so demanding. So I think that helps me stay calm, and then I visualize. It's all the same session. Actually, this is how it starts. I do about 10 to 15 minutes of Vipassana meditation, and then I got, and then I visualize, right? Because I just read Brian Tracy. He talked a lot about your brain goes into alpha state, and he said the visualization is more it gets to your subconscious mind more efficiently, right? I just took Brian's word for it. I haven't done my own study. I haven't done too much research on it, but then I visualize. And I'm not too big on the affirmations.
Okay.
But I don't. I'm not saying it's not effective. It's just I've never really gotten into it. Oh, but you know what? I do write my goals now, so I guess that's an affirmation. I definitely write my goals now.
Okay.
Every day. Yeah, every morning. I have a notebook and I just write down my goals.
Yeah.
I used to write down a bunch of goals, like Brian Tracy. He said write down 10 to 15 goals a day. And I've been doing it, but I found out over the year, I wouldn't hit a lot of those goals. So now I set one huge goal a year. I mean, I ended up hitting other ones, other ones, but like I set one big goal, not even a year, every 3 months. Here's small, man. Top speed. I break it down. I don't go 3 years ago. I do 3 months ago.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm a big believer in meditation. I've been doing it for many years now. I do 20 minutes a day, and I would say that has probably the biggest impact on my success, my happiness, peace of mind, and I also do a Vipassana meditation. I'm curious how you got into it. Like, did you go to a retreat? Did you have a teacher? Did you teach yourself?
I never did a retreat. I've been thinking about one because I've been thinking about doing a retreat, but man, like honestly, like I suck at meditation, and I've been doing it for years. But I know it was like so. Like I mean, maybe a retreat is the right thing to do, but I'm just intimidated by it. I read a good book. I actually just reading, man. Like I try to read for at least an hour a day, an hour or two a day. Mostly business, but a lot of times, personal development stuff. And there's a good book called 10% Happier by Dan Harris.
It's funny you say that because actually I get Audible and I listen to that book many times, and actually this week I re-listened to it because I'm actually going on retreat. So it was actually what I heard in his book, his experience, that inspired me to do the retreat. It's pretty crazy, but 10% Happier, one of the best books I ever read.
Yeah. It's really good. It's my favorite meditation book, right?
Yeah.
I'm not an atheist. I mean, sometimes I say I am just because I'm a contrarian. So like, I just say that to bother people, but really, I'm not very spiritual. I'll put it that way. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I don't know, right? So I like the there's you talked about the science of meditation and the data. I didn't really want anything like woo-hoo, like I didn't, like, cause, I mean, I like Deepak Chopra, right? But I just, when it starts getting all woo-hoo, I don't know any other ways, but you know what I mean. I say that for lack of a better term. That's what turned me off from it initially, right? But when you see the data and you start talking about how it helps studies that have been done on meditation and how it affects people in a positive way, that's more compelling to me than the spiritual aspect of it. And that is not me. I'm not trying to hate on it. I respect everyone's beliefs. Just for me, I come from I'm just more pragmatic about it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like, for me, I'm a big believer in science, right? It's a proven fact. And
Right.
one thing that's fascinating is cardio itself. Like, literally, it's only been like 40 years since cardio just came into the world and people are doing it. Like in the 60s, when you saw a person running down the street, you thought something was wrong with them. What are they running from? Yeah. And meditation is like that as well, where all the studies, all the science shows how proven and effective it is. And I truly feel, and many people have said this, in the next 20 years, mindfulness meditation will be a part of someone's daily routine, like brushing your teeth, because it'll have so much proof and effectiveness of it that, what are you doing today? I'm just meditating. And you won't look like a weirdo when you say it.
Right. I mean, I hope that's true because, like, I think a lot of people could benefit from it. I just know the way it helped me, man. Like, it's probably the only thing that keeps me off the wanted list, because I was like, there's some situations I know that I would just spaz out if I wasn't able to, if I didn't meditate, because it gives me more control over my emotions, right? I don't react as much, I can respond but not react. It's like, and I think that's important, man. You don't want to let things you can't control your emotions, right? Like, you should be emotionally stable enough that, like, what someone else does, says, or you see some people slipping out in traffic or the plane delays. Like, it's just lack of emotional control. Yeah, I think meditation helps with that a lot.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest things in life is to be unfazed by anything, right? So you have success, good things, and you get on this high, and you have negative things, bad things, you get on this low. And if you're like, taking on this tidal wave of life, the ups and downs, you're going to suffer, you're going to be upset. But to be cool, calm, and peaceful, no matter what happens, I mean, that's a superpower right there.
I mean, it's hard, man. It's like, it's because I don't think that's anyone's default. transmission, right? Because as you know, you usually watch a kid, as a kid, anything he just cries about it, he spaz. Almost every kid is a little spaz, right? So, but you don't want to carry that into adulthood. That's fine for children. But an adult should not behave like that, right? That's fine for babies, but adults should be able to control themselves. And meditation is really the only thing that I found that really helped me with that.
Wow, wow. Well, I mean, that's great. I'm glad because it's really interesting. I would say that on my podcast, I would say one of the biggest things all the very successful people have in common is a meditation practice. When I ask them like their rituals, they always say some type of meditation. So it goes to see that it's a prominent form of success. I think a lot of people say like, oh my God, I'm so busy, I have so much stuff I have to do. But like a guy like you that has so much on his plate, but could still take some time to meditate every single day, it shows something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like the last 2 weeks, I skipped a lot of days of meditation, and I can just tell in my behavior, man. Like I can just tell, like I was a lot less stable, and honestly, me, I'll start starting further behind the eight ball than most people, right? Just because the environment, like anybody's been in, like any like Southside Chicago or any low income, it's like calmness is not what the inhabitants of those environments are known for, right? So like it's definitely not my default, but so when I miss like multiple days in a row, like I can tell, and people around me can definitely tell.
Mm.
Yeah. They can definitely tell, and it works for them than it is for me because I'm really demanding,
Yeah, no, I hear that, Brandon. And I know, like, I mean, you're huge on your own personal development, like in terms of just reading. I've noticed you've read like hundreds of different books, and this is probably a tough question to answer, and people probably ask you this a lot because you literally are transparent about the books you read and what has influenced you. But if there is one or two books that you've gifted to a lot of people, which ones are they?
I don't know if I've ever given anyone a book.
Mm,
I know, because I can't think of a book. I don't get think of time in my life I've ever given anyone a book. I've had people steal books from me, like borrow them and not give them back. But I don't know if I've ever gifted a book. I suggested books.
Yeah, okay.
I never, I never gifted one. Maybe I have something to do. I've always suggested Waking the Giant Within.
Oh,
Robbins. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. The 48 Laws of Power.
Green.
Yeah. My favorite book of all time. My favorite book. The most I think everyone should read it. I think should be required to read it. Is How to Influence and Influence People.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Robert Greene is one of my favorite authors. I mean, the guy's mind is out of this world, and the 48 Laws of Power. Like, if you literally apply that to your life, it'll just change everything.
Oh man, like I do a series on YouTube where I talk about them. Like I've gotten through about 5 of the laws, and I try to like relate them, like get stories to relate it and make it more relatable. There's a lot of stuff, especially like the younger kids when I tell them they should read that book, and they get it like, oh man, I don't understand this, man. I'm not an Egyptian queen. How can I understand this? Like this, how does it relate to me? And I try to just put it in layman's terms for them because a lot of them aren't going to read it anyway. So it's a big book, and Robert's kind of long-winded,
Yeah, he's difficult to read his stuff. It's very like logical. I mean, he's an amazing writer, but yeah,
it's great
personality to like take it as content in.
Yeah, him and Malcolm Gladwell. Like I'm a big fan of both of them, but like I get it, man. It's so long-winded. I have an autographed copy of David and Goliath from Malcolm. Like I just love him signing. Like in New York. But maybe I should give books away. If I was going to give a book to someone, it would probably be I'd probably give away How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like if I'd never done it, but that would be the one. That's my number one. Like I think that's my favorite book of all time. The most influence me.
No, that's great. I love that book, and just because I mean the wisdom in that is classic. I mean it's one of the books that just stands the test of time. Like 500
Yeah,
years from now, you give that book to someone, and it'll still apply to whatever's going on in the world.
yeah. There's another book, it's real similar. It's called by Les Giblin, and it's called How to Have Confidence and Power Dealing with People.
Oh
And
wow.
I think a lot of people, it's like basically the same content, but it's easier to read. It's easier to read. So like sometimes I tell like I think uh having with friends and people is more it's the best book, but if you want the similar content in a more digestible format, then let's give them how to have confidence and power dealing with. I think that's the title. It's another good option. Like I like to read that one every once in a while. It's like it's almost it's like a Cliff Notes battle with friends. That's what it's like.
Oh
It's
cool.
like reading a summary, yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah, I love books like that because sometimes you read so much and it's a gift to have like a summarized short little 100-page book that just has the nuggets of wisdom because some books are like
Sometimes it's better.
400 pages and they just do it to make the publisher happy,
Yeah.
but it could be condensed. I'm all about some.
Man, it could definitely be good. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Yeah, it could definitely be condensed. Like I read what did I read? I read Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And but I read the summary first, where as soon as I do that, right? Because then I can like understand the book before I read the book. And that's one of the books where the summary was just so much better than the book because it's like you gotta get to the point, man. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes get to the point. That's why I'm like Malcolm Gladwell. I get it, man. Get to the point.
No, exactly. Yeah, there's different authors, but I know what you mean. Yeah, that book, I agree. I'm actually looking at my library right now. I see it on my bookshelf, and most people love that book. I mean, I think the concept is great. Start with why. Your why is everything. That alone, you don't need to read the book, but some of the stories are long-winded, and it didn't have as much substance, in my opinion, as
Yeah. It just you know, and I have this other book, Leaders Eat Last, and I really love his concepts. You know, like I love his concepts and what in the principles of the book. It's just more. It's just more a lot more pages than it could have been a pamphlet, but you can't sell a pamphlet, so that thing. That is most books, man. Obviously, in business books or personal business books, most of them just don't need to be that long.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why my books. If you read like Ultimate Cuts, I have a book like that. It's not even me plugging it. It's just, well, all right, I'm plugging it, but I'm just kind of trying to illustrate my point. It's Ultimate Cuts: 7 Secrets to Burn Fat Fast as Hell. Right? It's a 100-page book. I published on Amazon. Self-published it. It's got over 500 reviews, almost 600 now, with a 5-star average. Right. That's unheard of, right? But then what I did was I just said, you know what, man, I just want to give you the facts. Because it's a Kindle book, I'm only selling it for $1, right? Because Kindle won't let me give it away. But I wanted it on Amazon. So I sold it for 99 cents, the lowest price they'll let me do it. And I just want to give you the facts, like just the fact, and just to give you what you need to know, with no filler and no beating around the bush, man. What did, man, I forgot who said it. If I had, he said, if I had more time, I would have wrote a shorter letter. Like, who said that? Damn, I forget the name. Somebody from Colonial Times.
Yeah,
I think it was Mark Twain. If I had, I could be wrong. If I had less time, if I had more time, I would have because it's easy to just pad the shit, but it's hard. It's harder to condense it and just give the essential knowledge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have the same exact philosophy because I wrote my book and it became an Amazon bestseller, and it's very short, right? Concise to the point. The chapters are like 2 pages. So, like, basically, when I was writing the book, I was like, out of all the books I've read, what are the things that I loved about it? And a lot of it was just giving the nuggets, the action steps, breaking it down, do this, and then, it's adding a lot of value in a very short package because,
Yeah.
we all live in this world where everything is competing against our attention. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and nobody has time to read a 300-page book, right? But if you get to the point and
Right.
you have the key things they need to do, then that book's going to take off because it's the world we live in. I mean, I heard somewhere that the average person has an attention span of 9 seconds. So, like you said, you do daily video. So person is doing videos, the first 9 seconds you got to capture a person's attention. If not, they're not going to
you do.
check out your content.
Yeah. I mean, yo, you got it, man. Like that's exactly. That's just but that's why I never wanted to get like you. That's why don't you go to you can go to a traditional publisher, and I could, but then I'd have to do it like that. You know, I just don't want to. Doesn't write. Hey, let me ask you a question, man. Doesn't write book stuff. It's like the worst shit in the world. Or do you like it?
You mean writing a book?
Yeah, it's like torture.
So I'm like a hunt and peck typer. I'm like super slow. So what I do is I got this software. It's called Copy Talk, and it's this unlimited mobile transcription service. I could talk for days and days and days. So basically, here in New York, we had a Hurricane Sandy, and we didn't have electricity, so I had my phone. So for 30 days, what I did every morning for 10 minutes, I just talked on my phone, and then it sent it to the transcription company, and the typist typed everything up. And basically, 10 minutes of talking is 1,000 words. So in 30 days, I had 30,000 words, and I had an entire book finished. And I took this big, scary, ugly block of text. I hired an editor, and she cleaned everything up, put it into chapters, made it all make sense, and then I published it. So now every time I write a book, I transcribe it. I just call up, the company is called Copy Talk, and I just talk into it, and then it gets emailed to the system.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, my first one I used Dragon software.
Oh man,
it's cool, but it's like you gotta say period. You know, like if you want punctuation, you gotta say I'm walking to the store. Period.
Yeah. That's like a robot. You know, it's a software. This Copy Talk is like a room of 500 typists in like Florida. They're in an airplane warehouse. So it's a human being. So you're talking to them. You're like, all right, cool. So I want to make a list of 20 items here. Okay, now next paragraph, I want to do this. I want you to make a graph for me. So whatever you tell them to do, they do, and they're listening to you. So basically, it's the most accurate thing. It's like 99% accurate. I never have any issues with it. And sometimes I'll.
Can you upload?
I'm sorry.
Can you upload like an MP3 or a video, or can you give them a link to a video or something?
Yeah. There are different packages. Like basically, you just send them the video and the audio, and they transcribe it for you. But like even like, let's say for example, if I'm making a blog post, right? So I just talk into it. It's 1,000 words. So what happens is, within an hour or two, they email me the transcription. They're very fast, but they also send the MP3. So then that one piece of content can be used across a lot of different channels. So all you do is call up this phone number, talk into it, and then you get all these different pieces of content to use.
Oh, that's amazing. See, I started using this one called Res.
Oh,
but they charge you per minute.
Yeah. That's expensive. Yeah, but the thing about Copy Talk, it's like a flat fee. So different packages. The one I use is like $80 a month, and it's unlimited transcription. So, some days I'll transcribe for 2-3 hours, because I'll just basically, that's one of the ways I keep the notes in my books. So like I'll highlight the different parts and then I'll transcribe it. So I have this file that has the notes from every single book I've read. So I just search for the book.
Oh, that's brilliant. Listen, that's brilliant. That's so brilliant.
Yeah, because the whole thing is if I'm on vacation or if I just need to like capture the notes, I just go into my Gmail and I type it in and then the book pops up, all the key nuggets. Obviously if you're going to go through a book and go through each page, it's going to take forever, but you have like the top 10 key points and the quotes and all that stuff.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. See, I did my whole I just put out a free, I did a free, because I did a free program.
Oh, okay.
It's called a simple 6-pack solution. Right, you can just that's the URL, simple six spelled out solution. And I use Red for the whole thing. Like,
oh, wow.
I just talked each chapter, and then my editor cleaned it up.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
But this copy talk thing is interesting,
Yeah. I'll send you the link for all that stuff, and I'll provide the links of your book and your programs on the show notes page on my podcast. So definitely. I just want to wrap it up. I want to ask you one question, Brandon. You really just added so much value. I mean, you just shared so much. You're very transparent. I'm just curious, like, is there a question that I should have asked you, but I didn't ask?
Damn, I Uh, yeah, you should have asked me how much money I make. I wouldn't have told you, but you should have asked. Sometimes you gotta dig. Sometimes you gotta dig deep. You know, or how much does it cost to start a supplement company? I'm sure your viewers will want to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not anything. I'm gonna have to tell you any of those answers, but like they would have been good, cool. You know, if I were you, I'd ask them. I'm not gonna answer them.
I like another one. How many women have you slept with?
Oh, really? Shit. I don't know, man. Like, it's like after they ask me how many times have I brushed my teeth, or like, I mean, no, I don't know offhand. I mean, I don't know like offhand. I mean, I try to figure it out, but it would take. Well, I know we don't have enough time for me to sit in.
You got to do account.
Do the arithmetic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that answers that question.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, Brandon, listen, man, I really appreciate you being on the show, just your generosity. If people want to learn more about you and download your amazing content, where do they go?
You know what, man? We just moved. I'm in the process. I just hired a new web team, so like things are, you know, we're in the transition stage. But you can definitely just search me anywhere. Search me on Facebook. You know, search Brandon Carter. It's the one with a million. It's the one with a million likes. There should only be one Brandon Carter with a million likes. Or you can go to BrandonCarter.com. You might, if I were you, I'd download the simple 6-pack solution because it's a good program. It actually, I try to put together everything you need to know to lose weight and get a 6-pack. And it's real lean. It's only 40 pages. But you know, and that's deliberate. I made it short, condensed deliberately. I told my editor, like, yo, take out anything that's, you know, redundant. You know, we just want to get the knowledge to people as quick. And that's why it's set free, man. I like giving out free stuff because this is good for your viewers. It builds trust, man. Like, if you want to sell something to someone, they gotta like you and trust you. You know, and if they like you and trust you, then they'll buy something from you eventually, or you know, or they're more likely to. And, you know, even if they don't, you give them, like, we do free boot camps in New York. So I'm doing a free boot. I don't know when this is going to air. I'm doing a free boot camp on the 27th in Central Park. The information will be on my Facebook page and my website, I'm sure.
Okay, that's really cool of you, man, to do free boot camps, give away so much free content.
Yeah, man, it's like, listen, only a certain amount of people are going to buy this stuff. You're selling anyway, right? So, but you can help a lot of people. You give us stuff for free, right? It's more like, listen, some people are going to buy it, some people are not. Some people are going to steal it off torrent. That's cool, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's like I'm still going to get mine, right? I'm still going to get enough to support myself. So it's like content I can give away for free. I can't give away a supplement, a workout. So it's like it's hard to counterfeit a supplement, right? So I might as well the info shit I try to give away for free, you know, and I like to meet the people. I actually like to meet the fans, like, so it's cool for me, man. Like I like to meet them and answer questions in public. So that's cool.
Yeah, man.
It's fun for me.
No, that's great, and I love that you're so abundant-minded. You know, just like the more you give, the more it comes back to you. You know, most people they hide behind a computer. They don't want to meet people. They don't want to give anything away. Pay me for this, but that, you know, obviously that's one of the main reasons why you're so successful. Just you have this giving way about you.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I mean, I have 1 million Facebook subscribers, but I know not even 10% of them bought my free workout the first month, and that's cool though, man. That's cool because it's not even for everyone, right? So not everyone likes supplements with stimulants like this, and that's cool. So it's like, but I can still help with more people, and it's like, I don't know. That's kind of, you know, I feel like I kind of owe a debt to society, man, to tell you the truth, man, for some of the things I've done in my past. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like I kind of like owe society a debt. So like that's why like the YouTube videos every day, like been 2 days, right? 2 days. One is fun, but it's also like if I can help anybody, I get a lot of messages from people telling me I help them, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, you know, maybe I'll be forgiven. If there is a God, maybe he'll forgive me for some of the stuff I've done, you know, in the past.
Yeah, nah, man. Hey, once again, thank you for your generosity today, and it was awesome connecting. And yeah, we're definitely gonna link up soon.
Thanks for listening to the Online Super Coach Podcast. If you like this show, share it with your friends and subscribe on iTunes. For show notes and for free training on how you can attract, convert, and deliver like $1 million online coach, visit onlinesupercoach.com.